YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha, back in the building. Finally, for another Last Cloudia video. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We are looking at the boy Lanceveil, Shift Lanceveil, because it's finally time to give this man some respect and finish the 5-star enhancements that I like to do before doing a little bit of 5-star showcasing. Have enough souls for the ward, so we're gonna go ahead and unlock it on screen before I go ahead and take Lanceveil into some tests, just to test out his 5-star form. And by the title of this video, yes, we are going to get into a controversial topic in the world of Last Cloudia. And funny enough, I didn't decide to do dual-wield testing on Lanceveil until recently. However, when I did, I came to some funny realizations that I pretty much want to highlight and showcase in this video. So here we are in the typical DPS test that a lot of us endgame players like to run, which is find Tyria God stage, a little boss with a quick 2 million health. It's pretty easy to reach cap with your DPS so that you can test out max damage outputs and things of that nature. So what we want to do is take Lance into this stage with the full setup, with Balin's charisma, with Tink's damage cap raise. We're not going to get Tinkyli's ultimate off, sadly, because I just want to kind of wrap this up. We'll be missing 2000 damage cap. It's all good in the hood though. And then of course we just stacked Shift Lance with a bunch of damage cap items, including the Scarlet Blade for 1500 and Hail Sovereign's Ring for another 1000. I could have put Phantom Tower Key for another plus 500, but again, just with his single wield build, those smaller damage cap raises come with minimal returns because you're increasing your total damage cap hit by an incremental amount. So we just went with the standard Scarlet Blade, Hail Sovereign's Ring, and then of course we've got Sky Fortress Solaris for that extra 3000 thunder damage cap. So in total we're getting 5500 damage cap on top of each hit, single hits, plus the 2000 from Balin, plus the 3000, so another 10,500 essentially. So here we go. We're going to test out just the speed and see. We know that Lance isn't any kind of speedy damage, right? He comes with a lot of other use with his super armor and the way that his second trait procs, which wants you to get hit in order to receive more damage, which means his moves being slower helps him get hit more often while he's actually applying damage. But we're going to start with the things that we do here. We've got Balin doing his charisma. We've got, I'm going to go ahead and launch Tinkyli's Winry's Apple Pie onto Lanceveil. So now we've got everything ready to go. I'm going to activate the Theopolis to get everyone grouped together. And then we can just go ahead and spam Lance's skills. We'll go ahead and spam his S3 because that's got the biggest damage cap on it. So here we go. Oh, wow. We're going to try that one more time to make it look a little prettier. So let's just get Balin's cap off, Swordmaster Charisma, and we're going to go and hit Winry's Apple Pie here. As soon as I see that MP drain, now we're going to group everything together. And by the time everything is nice and set, we should have the skill stocks on Shift Lance. We're just hit that Supreme Thunder, because remember, each one of his skills come with a separate individual amount of damage cap. So we can see here we're looking at 63,699. We do have his ward active, so you do have to take that into consideration. We are getting a couple crit caps of 78,000, whatever that is, because of that instant strike. That's going to be 20% of your hits get that damage boost. Not very reliable and not very consistent. 1 out of 5 crits is what you're going to get there. So some nice damage, but we're going to take the average damage output of that S3, which was 63,699, multiply it by the amount of hits to get our total damage amount. And now we're going to take Lance into the exact same situation with a dual wield build and test out a DPS test. Let's test a DPS test. Test a DPS test and DPS a test. Now I'm going to show you how I have Shift Lanceveil set up as a dual wielder And then we'll go ahead and take him into battle to get the numbers and compare them side by side, just to get a visual of the performances of his single-wield DPS output and his dual-wield DPS output. So let's go ahead. I'll let you know exactly what I changed. Here you can see we've got dual-wield equip along with machine high boost, just to give you that visual. All I did was take off close boost, close high boost, and doppelhander. So we did lose another 5,000 single-wield cap, but here's the thing. We're going to make up a lot of the cap because adding damage cap to dual wielding makes a much more significant difference because you're now doubling that total damage cap increase. But let's go ahead and check out the equip. So now you can look at it this way. We've got Scarlet Blade and Hail Sovereign's Ring, which originally was a plus 2,500 physical damage cap, but now it's a plus 5,000 total amount to like one hit equal to that of a single wield hit. And then just because we can, now that we have dual wield, we've got Mega Dragon Veldis, which is going to add an extra thunder damage attack. I'm not sure of how much damage, but to 10% of our physical hits. Also, we don't need to in this battle, but at this point you can then equip Trishula to Lanceveil, which a lot of people are going to hate, but then you can just bypass any enemies with your thunder resistances that are typically quite annoying if you are single wielding without other means of lowering enemy resistances. So it just adds that extra benefit as well. But let's go ahead and take this guy into battle. So now you got to understand, we're doubling the damage cap from our equipment. We're doubling the damage cap from Solaris, so this is now an effective 6,000 damage cap on each hit. We're getting an extra 4,000 on each hit from Balin, because double his 2,000. And then we're getting another extra 6,000 from Tenkili, double her 3,000, which would be even more if we were taking advantage of her special. So let's go ahead and test out the same thing, get the damage output numbers, and then do some side-by-side comparisons. Alright, so we've got the skill stocks, we've got Balin's charisma up. Let's go ahead, Theopolis our way to absolute decimation here. Let's see what our single or our dual wield damage cap amounts to here. We've got everyone in the center. I'm going to just spam S3s. And we've got 33,699. So just about the same, around the same, but if we do that damage calculation, what was it? 33,699 is what we just got. Looking at those two numbers, you can see at this point we now have more total damage output in 1S3 in our dual wield build than our single wield build. Not to mention, we get that extra weapon slot for Trishula if we want to avoid thunder resistances, double the amount of crits, ×2 on your break, which then actually equates to more than you would usually have with that plus 200% if you're single wielding, since that's additive. Dual wield's multiplicative, so it still comes out to more break in the end if you want to go ahead and equip his page sword and the newest axe that comes out. You get an added plus 100% to your break and then double that, so you're supplementing that break while adding more. It's just nuts in terms of the break department how much better dual wield still is on Lanceveil in their efforts to try and give him like plus 200%. It just, mathematically it still makes it better as a dual wielder. You get double the on-hit effects if you're doing any extra damage strategies or status ailment strategies, plus more chances to get Goddess Kiss on your regular attack since you're now doubling your regular attack hits. Because you're getting double crits, you're getting double the amount of Proud Force heals, so not only are you now dealing more damage with Lance being dual wield if you're stacking a lot of damage cap on him, but you're also getting all the extra benefits that dual wield offers over single wield. And I just think it's hilarious that when we originally thought that if you're really end game, Shift Lance is better, still going to be a bit better as a single wielder, he's not. He's still better as a dual wielder. Losing out on that instant strike damage is really going to be negligible over the long term. And what's even funnier is that his second trait, a lot of people pointed out upon his release, this is not locked to single wield. So he can get this plus 20,000 damage cap. It ramps him up to like plus 50,000 on each hit. So now you double that plus 100,000. Like, it's just absolutely absurd that Lance, if you've got end game items and equipment and resources available to you, he's still better as a dual wielder. And because he's not bringing anything else crazy to the table, we saw most of what he can do in the 4-star showcase. He's not bringing a crazy amount of DPS. He's just a nice big smacker with super armor. I just kind of wanted to highlight this little finding I had as his 5-star showcase video. Plus, a lot of people aren't too concerned because most people skipped him. This video is mainly for those who pulled him and want to see other and different ways to build and use Lanceveil. What I do want to test out, and I need to talk to Tweaks and whoever else can help me out with this, I want to bring dual-wield Lanceveil. And you're either dual wielding his paid sword and the newest axe that came out in the Godforge to get that extra break added on. Cerulean axe gives you that plus 50% break damage. Then I want to just stack a bunch of God of Ruins and see what 4 Lanceveils built for dual wield breaking does to the Kraken in multiplayer. Just a little test I want to do, so be on the lookout if I make a quick short for that, if I can get the guys together to pull that off. And anyone else who wants to volunteer in that test effort, just let me know in the comments. But that's all I really wanted to show in this showcase. Is this applicable when you're fighting endgame bosses? Absolutely. Having Bayland as your support. Even if you lose out by not bringing Bayland, you just want to bring like Spirit Materia, Tenkili, and Lanceveil. You can still get more bang for your buck dual wielding end game content because of everything I mentioned before. Even though you're losing out on some of that damage cap and maybe that total damage output gets a little more neutral, you also get all of the other benefits that dual wield comes with. So of course, play the game how you want to. This was just a fun little experiment that I wanted to do and put out on YouTube because I think it would make for a funny video title, and I mean the performance speaks for itself. Of course, if you have any more questions about the build or things that you saw and you're wondering how I was able to get it done or what I have that allows me to do certain things, drop it in the comments. I'd be happy to enlighten you guys, let you know what is worth chasing in this game. Of course, it's going to take time and patience. As an early game player, you're going to get more out of Lanceveil's kit, single wielding him as intended. But as you approach that end game and get more things on your account, you can do fun stuff like this and bring out potential that we had all kind of just written off when we first saw what Lance was bringing to the table. So, guys, I think that's all I got for you this time. Let me give a huge thank you and shout out to my BoodaFam members. We did reach our goal of 10 out of 10 BoodaFam members. So now it's time to reach for the stars and double that. Yes, I want to try and get to 20 BoodaFam members by the end of the year. I think we're able to do it. I've got some fun content coming for you. On the weekends, I'm planning on releasing 2 videos, extra BoodaFam exclusives on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. I'm going to have to make them and get them up real quick. It's going to be a weird week because I do have Thanksgiving. I'm going to try and get some videos up, but there may be a dry spell from probably the middle of this week moving into next Monday. So I'm going to do my best. If I can get a video ready to post every day in my absence, I'll try and do that, but I'm going to miss a lot of the collab hype that's dropping. Consider becoming a BoodaFam member just to get some extra content on the weekend if you want to see your boy in his element outside of LC. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, turn on all notifications if you want to make sure and know exactly when I post. You won't be out of the loop. Let me know your thoughts on this boy right here. Total skip, waiting for those collab units as you should. Or are you using him and having fun with him like me and a select other players? With all that being said, guys, y'all know what we say. Work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.